Hi, my name is Whitney, and I thought that I would kind of put up a video and answer some questions that people had about my religion, which is the Innominatus. I'll just answer some basic ones to the best of my ability. I just want to do like a disclaimer though, in that these are all my personal beliefs, and not everyone of the Innominatus believes what I'm gonna say. Which I'm sure is like the same for every religion, that there are always different opinions. So I'll kind of do the basic ones that I had. The first one is basically what is like the Innominatus religion, and I kind of think the best way to describe it is that it's a very umbrellic religion. It's not really as structured as some, like Christianity is very structured, I think. It's kind of more based on the individual. So you kind of have your set of beliefs rather than an entire religion having one set. Very much like, I grew up Church of Christ, for instance, and is very congregational and very faith-based. And you had a very strict creed, and you had the Bible to follow. Innominatus isn't like that. It's not faith-based. It's more emphasis on the individual, kind of what you believe, rather than what you should believe, I guess is a good way to put it. For instance, if you go into one of our community centers and you come across like 6 different people, I'm pretty sure those 6 different people will have different opinions of the religion. And to me, I thought that was something that was really important in a church, because every person is going to have like a different viewpoint of the world. That's just how we're made. We're not meant to all be the same. So having a religion that understands that and that knows that people are going to look at things differently was really important. So that's kind of what it is. Basic points that people are going to ask. I know, like, do you believe in a God? No, not really. I don't. There are some people that are in our religion that do. Some people believe in more than one. You know, it's whatever you believe yourself. There's also people I know that ask like what we think about heaven and hell and kind of the afterlife in general. Personally, I don't really think life exists once you die. I think it ends. But like I said before, there are different opinions in the religion. So there are people who believe in it, and there are some people who don't. So that's really an individualist question. There's not really, for our religion, there's not really like a book that kind of tells you what we believe in. There's not really like a set code of conduct or a code of beliefs. So you're going to have to ask each person individually kind of what they are. Another question people asked me was why I chose to be part of the Innominatus Church. And the biggest thing for me was, like I said before, it's not faith-based, and Christianity didn't cut it for me because it was faith-based. I'd rather go in with a religion kind of relying on myself rather than something else, someone or something. I really like the community feel it has. For the Innominatus, it's an emphasis on community. Community is very important to us. We have the community centers, which is, I guess, similar to church buildings for other religions. But the emphasis is also on the individual. It's kind of the idea of you have to become a better individual before you can become a good part of the community. Basically, being a fit individual to better the community. I think that's something that's really important to us. Some other things people ask me, like random questions, like do you have preachers or like some kind of someone of instruction? And no and yes. In the community centers, there are people who do talk of the religion. There are people who do argue with each other about like what's right or wrong or to them. But there's not really a preacher. Like, there's not a sign that says, you know, Church of the Innominatus Pastors Brown or something. Like, we don't have that. A lot of people talk basically amongst each other. That's our religious pastime, I guess you could say, our congregation. Not hymn singing or anything. Some other people ask, like, oh, well, you have, like, all these community buildings for your religion. Like, is it just for religion? And that's no. Like I said, community is very important, and that includes the people who aren't part of our church. We do our meeting Sunday, like, it's It's a pretty religious day for everyone, I guess. But we hold our meetings on Sunday too. The big part for us is kind of just the group meeting. It's like a giant potluck, a dinner. But while you're there, you're kind of like, doing the community feel, bonding with your other members and stuff like that, kind of discussing our church and like maybe what you've experienced from other people. And, so that's something that's really interesting, I think. Other things people ask are like prayers and things. Obviously, if I don't believe in a God, I don't really have anyone to pray to. So that kind of answers that question. I think that's most of them. A lot of people just don't seem to understand why it's a religion, I guess. Like, it doesn't seem like a religion because there's not really a God or a focus on some kind of deity. But it's kind of similar like Buddhism. Buddhism doesn't really have a God, but it's still a religion. So I guess it's kind of similar in that aspect, at least. I think what makes the Innominatus like a religion that stands out is the fact that it kind of incorporates multiple things from different religions. I know, like, if you look at each different, like, global religion, like Christianity and Judaism and Buddhism, things like that, there's parts of it, I think, for each individual that they like. Maybe not. Maybe you hate everything about Judaism. I don't know. But when I look at different religions, I think there is, like, several things included in each one that are, like, a positive aspect. And Innominatism, I think, kind of takes pieces from each religion and kind of morphed it into one, I guess. So that's kind of one of the reasons why there isn't a solid, like, foundation of exactly what we believe. Because every person's different. Every person picked something different from each religion. It's kind of like a buffet style of religion. I know everyone's plate is different. And I hope that kind of clears up the concept of what the Innominatus is. Yeah, so I hope that helped a little bit. I'm sure you could probably find other people's little testimonies and stuff, so I'll just cut it from here. So I just want to say thank you, though, for the people who were interested in the Innominatus and who were actually willing to kind of ask questions rather than assume stuff. So thanks. Have a good day.